And I say, hey, let's do it. It was something crazy like this. And we started reselling software and build the entire AC software based company. It was 3 guys only in Adrian. The first enterprise customer was a multi-million-dollar deal. Was not easy to deal with. The implementation was a lot harder than it should be. We didn't have the right process to implement a multi-million-dollar deal.
So what is one surprising lesson that you have learned in your entrepreneur journey? Thank you so much for joining here, Dyogo. Pleasure having you here. We'll start with the easiest question. Can you introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Dyogo Andreatta. I'm CEO of AC Software, a software company based in Brazil.
So, Dyogo, I was just going through your LinkedIn profile and got a bit surprised over there. So, I'm going to start off with that question. You have a bachelor's in agriculture, and then you moved on to become a founder of a tech startup. So, how did this transition happen?
Well, that's a very interesting question. Well, everything started because of my family background is on agriculture. And well, I went to study high school in US. And once I got back from study, my dad just gave me one option to be agricultural engineer or nothing else. So I had to follow that, to follow his dream and to work in the family business. Well, I did that for at least 9-10 years, but I was not happy. I was doing something I was doing good job, but was not something that I had a pleasure to arrive home and say, hey, I'm happy, you know. So once I received a message from one of my partners, we are 3 partners in AC Software, me, Augusto, and Emmanuel. Emmanuel used to be a VP from Dell Software back in Austin, and I met him when I was studying high school. He was my neighbor. And back then he was just student as well. So he said, hey, let's sell software. And I didn't think twice. I say, hey, that's my opportunity to move from the company that I'm working, the family business, to build something of my own. And I say, hey, let's do it. It was something crazy like this. And we started reselling software and build the entire AC software based company with 3 guys only in Adrian.
So you've been into the family business for almost a decade, and then you are also been into your tech startup for almost a decade.
Yeah, more than a decade already. So since 2009, so 14 years now, it will be now 14 to 15.
You don't look that old, man.
Oh, I am. I'm 40
really
years something.
Old.
Well, thanks for that.
So tell us about your firm. How long you have been doing this tech startup? And it's based out of Brazil.
Yeah, it's based in Brazil. We are doing that since 2009. So now we're going to be 14 years, like almost 15 years, right? Yeah, it will be 15 years already. Oh, thanks, long. So I started when I was 26, something like that. So
what does your firm do? And it's
AC Software. We have a lot of business units, but the major is resell, implement, ManageEngine software and Zoho software. So we have about 15 to 1,600 customers just for that business unit in Brazil.
So you were doing a family business which revolves around agriculture, and then you moved on to a tech startup just because you had a call from your co-founder, right?
Yeah, well, I was not happy to sell tractors or going the farm. I was more in technology since day one. Well, I have been the opportunity to have contact with computers since I was 13, 14 years old. So since 386, 486, the young models of computer, I have been opportunity to be around those. And when I was in US, I have a very good opportunity to be around computer and be in love with computer. So even working in agriculture, that's completely different, was something that I arrive home and say, hey, that's not something that I want to do the rest of my life, you know. It's not like when I arrive now and I say, hey, I don't want to stop doing this for the rest of my life. It's completely different. So of course, there was the feeling that first, doing my own business or starting my own way. That's something that I would appreciate. And changing completely from something that I didn't choose for myself, was choosing for my family path from my own path.
So what was your role in the previous business, like when you were doing
Well, there in the previous business, I did everything since I was sales guys, I was office boy, I did everything until I was a sales director. So, but took a few years. I began very young, since I went back to high school. Before I even graduate, I already worked there. So I was studying and doing and working. So I stepped year by year in almost every aspect of the job. So I learned a lot. I do appreciate my father and my family for the opportunity to grow step by step on that company, because that made me a vision, gave me a vision to start my own company and to understand every part of it and understand that it's not easy.
So talking about that, I just read on your profile again. Your profile description says that you won't give up on sales and marketing for any cost, right?
Yeah.
So what made you to love so much?
Man, I think the goal for me is when I see a solution that I can deliver for that customer, for that prospect, and I can give them and sell them something that they're really gonna be useful to him, is something that really give me the appreciation and really make me feel good. And I really love the sales and marketing process, and I'm the kind of guy that I don't want to sell a product, I want to sell a solution. So I want to really solve a problem for that prospect, for that customer. And that's what I always try to say to my team is make the right question and don't sell a product, sell a solution. So let's make a solution for their problems and understand what their needs.
So when you are saying this, I kind of picture as a person, but I just wanted to check if we both are on the same line. Who is your inspiration?
Well, Steve Jobs, of course, is
I got you right.
Yeah, Steve Jobs, of course, is my inspiration. I'm a big fan of how he did everything he did, and even when he was moved out of his own company, he stayed with his way of thinking, and when he came back and did what he did, he changed the world. If you look at right, he changed the audio world, he changed the phone world. Everyone, yeah, exactly. So if you look at that way, it cannot be different. For me, that love technology and saw what he did for technology and what he did for the world, in many aspects, in different aspects, when we say the music industry, when we say the phone industry, the smartphone industry, the computing industry, he did everything that was possible. Unfortunately, he went too early, but otherwise, I think he would change even more.
So he's a great inspiration for anybody who wants to become an entrepreneur, who wants to become a boss of a firm. Yeah. I'm sure they have to read about Steve Jobs.
I think so. Yeah. I think that's something I do and I recommend.
Remarkable journey. Hope he lived for some more time. But anyways, so can you name 3 inspirations or the takeaways that you had from Steve Jobs, and that also you have implemented them to the business and you're seeing the results out of it?
Well, yeah, one of them, very important one, is the way he always don't give up. That's something that he did. He never gave up in what he wants. So if he wants to do something, doesn't matter if it was hard, he didn't give up. Another thing that is very important is Apple way of thinking is think different. And so you cannot think the same way everyone is thinking and get different results. You're gonna get the same results, and that's something that is gonna be very, very simple. It's simple math. So think different, think out of the box. That's something that I really appreciate. And another important thing is, well, if you are fighting with the big ones, you don't have to be afraid. You just have to use the right weapon. So when he fought the famous Super Bowl commercial against IBM was the big company. He was scared to go there and challenge the big one. So that's something that us as a small company, we never was afraid to challenge big companies. And now that we are growing and growing every year, we try to keep the same way, never be scared to. That's something.
So one more thing is that provide solutions, like find the problem and provide solutions is another thing that we always quote about.
That's and sometimes even the customer doesn't know what solution they need. You need to do the right question to help them identify. So that's something that I always think about it.
Great. So what is the core mission of your AC software?
The core mission for us is actually deliver the best solution for their needs, for our customer needs. So if our customer has one need, we're gonna identify and we're gonna give a right solution. We don't wanna sell for sell. That's something that I completely disagree with those kind of companies that just wanna push a sell to get a quota. No, we wanna that our customer do business wants to always do a business with us. So if you do the right way, they will come back and they will keep it with you as always. So I prefer to be an honest guy and an honest firm and giving the right solution than actually just push something that they will never use it.
You were saying that you have a multi-product offering and you also partnered with Zoho and ManageEngine to offer your services. So what are the technologies that you have or you have as an offering for the clients?
Okay, for in AC software itself, the business unit, we only offer everything in ManageEngine. So we are specialists. We have specialists in security and in ITOM, in ITIL, Service Desk. So everything in ManageEngine we do offer for our customers. So security is right now one of the hottest topic in Brazil. And on Zoho, we are specialized in Zoho Desk. That's something that we already used to. And Zoho CRM, we also deliver that. And just now we start with Zoho Creator because the big market that we see and identify for the next few years.
Great. That's a lot of products.
So in terms of ManageEngine, we talk about 30 to 40 products. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. So how many people do you have in your team?
We have about 70 people right now.
70?
Yeah, 70 and growing. Every month we have something like 2 or 3 people joining us and each month. And we have half of those in tech side and half of those between sales and marketing. So that's how we split the team.
How do you find the right talent?
Well, that's the challenge, the hardest thing to do. So we always try to work and try to identify the ones that have the soft skills that we are looking for. Because the hard skills, we always think that people can develop, but the soft skills, the ones that identify with our culture is something that are always hardest to find. So we look for the soft skills, people, if we want people that can communicate self, can express, can identify with our culture, is a lot easier to develop the hard skills, the specific skills in tech products or in anything. So we always look for soft skills first and then hard skills. And we're beginning, the guys that start with us, sometimes we go in university and give them opportunity. So I have a team members that are with me since 11 years ago, 10 years ago. For example, Mr. Anderson, the co-host of Pod Cafe, is with me for 10 years. Gomes with me with 11 years. So those guys, Gomes started me in his first year of university. He was a trainee back then, and now he's one of business directors. So he stepped in growing the company, and well, that's how we try to identify.
That's a nice thing, but I just wanted to understand more about this, Dyogo. So somebody has stuck with you for the last 11 years from the very beginning. What do you think the reason would be?
Well, we try to first identify people that really have our way of thinking and believe in our way of thinking. And second, we try to have a very good environment. So we give opportunity for people to grow if they want to. So for example, we have a lot of people with us for at least 10 years, even in the tech side. Tainan, for example, is with us for 11 years. She's a tech leader, Augusto tech leader. And she also started in the university. So when we identify people that has the same values, with the same soft skills that we are looking, and believe in our mission, believe in the way we work, I think they stick with us because we give the opportunity then to grow and give you a very good environment without those kind of pressure or those kind of things that other companies don't look for. We are really looking to our people as people. That's what we think.
People first.
People first.
You've been to India for last 11 years, is what I heard. So, did you observe anything out of India?
That's something that I really learned here with Zoho Corporation. In every year that I came here, it's something that, I see Van Boel and the way his ways of thinking, his ways of building this entire Zoho Corporation thing is very, very, very good. So he thinks in everything. He thinks in the community, the village, and the way he thinks and the way he thinks in his employees and the way he thinks in everything is something that really inspires us there. And that really, we try to benchmark that in every way and pass that same thing for our team, because we saw how people love to work in Zoho Corporation here. We had just had lunch now with everyone, and everyone is happy. And when we saw that first, that's what made me really fall in love for the way of Zoho Corporation works. Is different from other vendors. Doesn't look like a company that has that kind of pressure, has goals, $1 billion revenue. Doesn't look like. It's something really, really interesting. So we try to benchmark that and bring that for our company. That's something from Zoho Corporation way for sure.
Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to understand a bit more about the business side of it. While you started this business, you would have started with a different ideology and you would have marched towards a path. And is there a moment that made you to switch the direction of your path?
Well, actually, when we first start, to be very honest with you, we just had a dream to have a company. We didn't have much of planning, just a dream. Of course, with learning and understanding the path, we started to really put in the paper and putting our goals in the way. So in the beginning was just, surviving, right? We have to sell, to survive, to do what we need to do. Then we identify, that's how we're going to survive, and the way we're going to build our company was something that we did learn with the process. In the beginning, I cannot say to you, because I would lying and say, hey, that was how we planned. No, we just was 3 guys and a dream.
Did you start your business from a garage?
Yeah, I started from my room. Oh. 3 guys from 3 different rooms remotely. So that's how it went, to be honest. 1 in US and 2 other guys in other cities. So that's how it started.
So how do you manage your finances, Dyogo, so far? Are you funded a company or are you bootstrapped?
No, we are a bootstrap. So no funding, no outside funding. Everything we did, we start with nothing, but we make revenue, we sell and reinvest in the company. So everything that we have now was bootstrapped for ourselves. So we make the revenue, we reinvest in the company, and we did that year after year. And we never wanted any as Zoho, we never wanted outside funding, anything to don't lose control what we wanted in our dream.
So looking back now, you have a very long journey, like 11, 12 years into the domain, and you have been very successful, as you are saying right now. Looking back, do you want to change something in your journey? Is there any learning that you got through in this journey? And if given an opportunity, would you go back and change that?
Well, I think changing would be not the right word, but of course, there was some paths that we could learn easier if it was more well planned. So the first enterprise customer was a multi-million-dollar deal. Was not easy to deal with. The implementation was a lot harder than it should be. We didn't have the right process to implement a multi-million-dollar deal. So those kind of things, of course, if I had the opportunity, I would do it different. But I would say that we could not learn without suffering and passing that process. So that was something really needed. Today, I don't think I would change. I would do different if I had the opportunity. Of course, if I could see the future, but it was not the case. So it's part of the process.
It's a very long and intense conversation, so I wanted to keep it a bit more light.
Sure.
I'll ask you a couple of rapid fire questions and you could answer that. I mean, feel free to answer them.
Of course.
You don't necessarily have to be a one-word answer.
Don't worry.
So yeah, sure. We'll start. How would your day look like? A normal day of Dyogo, how would that look like?
Well, I'm a very planned guy, and I have an agenda very, very restricted. So I do, even if I'm flying, I do my workout very early in the morning, take my breakfast, and then I do everything that is planned on my agenda. So if you look, I'm a very organized guy by a table, and I have even my kids' schedule on my agenda. So everything I do, I look at the time and I do everything as planned. So I don't try to go out. If it's not planned, I do another day.
No wonder you look so young, man.
Yeah.
So your favorite app on your phone that is not related to your work?
Oh, my favorite app that's not related to my work. So that's a very good question. I would say right now, to be very honest with you, that's Uber, because I
You
can
travel a lot.
Yeah,
right?
because I travel a lot. Without Uber, I would be done. I travel so much. When I arrive in the airport, if I don't have a Uber, I would not go anywhere.
It's an interesting answer, man. Okay. So, podcast or reading books?
Podcast for sure. I love reading books as well, but podcast is a passion, and it's a lot easier to do while you work out, while driving, a lot of driving, a lot of Uber. So that's what I love most.
Your favorite podcaster?
Oh, there's so many. I have a few in Brazil. I like in US. I like Joe Rogan. Besides everything that he does, he know how to get his audience. And I have a few in Brazil, very good ones that are inspiration for us in the Pod Cafe. It's a very, there's no one name, but there's too many.
Do you watch Tim Ferriss?
I know him, but he's not one of the one that yeah.
So I also suggest you a couple of podcasters in India who are doing really, really great. One, of course, us.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So another one is Nikhil Kamath, who is an investor, turned to be a podcaster. He is doing really great. He started very late last year, but he has been top podcaster in India. And there are a lot more people, but I would suggest you to start with Nikhil Kamath.
That's good.
He does it in
yeah, just send me the link that I will start to listen and to watch for sure.
Sure. So on a very hectic day, how would you keep yourself out of your work? How would you come out of your work?
Okay. Well, I try to, there's many ways. So I try to chili, to meditation. I try to do exercise and those kind of things that, and spend time with family, those kind of things that to keep me out of thinking of the work. It's the only way that I really, otherwise I would think. So concentrate in the family and of course, doing traveling with family, those kind of things. And it's something that really take me.
How long do you work in a day?
Oh, at least 13 to 14 hours. Yeah, but Monday to Friday, Saturday and Sunday.
So you take off?
Yeah, Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, I tried not even to open my email unless it's really needed.
Great. Yeah. So you do your workouts in the morning itself, or?
Yeah, always the first thing in the morning. I wake up and do my workout.
Okay, great. So if you could have a dinner with 3 people, dead or alive, who would be those 3 people?
Oh, one is Steve Jobs for Steve sure. Jobs. Yeah. I would have one with Michael Jordan for sure. Okay. Well, I'm a big fan of Jordan, and he changed the game. And another guy that I probably he's not with us anymore, but Ayrton Senna is a Formula 1 driver, one of the best Formula 1 driver Brazilian. He's already gone. And he had a way of thinking of victory and to pass everything that was a challenge, he couldn't make it. So there was one of the guy that also if I had the opportunity to have a.
The most unconventional place where you had a breakthrough idea?
Oh man, probably. I have a breakthrough. I do a lot of planes. That's not conventional to have in the planes, but I had, I don't know to answer that. But skiing is something that when I was in the middle of skiing, I have a breakthrough idea. That's something that's not normal, but I had that as well.
What was the idea?
Well, I had, for example, when we are skiing Park City with Emmanuel, I was just skiing and had this idea, well, why we don't take the teams and just do different teams for sales and cross-sells and upsells, and was something that back then we had the same teams doing sales and upsells. So I think it was something. If you have different quotas for and different team doing different kind of sales, one for quotas for upsells and one for sales, I think it could be more accountability for those guys, and I could sell a lot more and grow a lot more, a lot faster. So that's something that just happened when I was skiing and thinking not, and then we did, and it was good.
Great. So if you could switch your role with someone else in your team, who would that be? And why?
Oh man, I don't think I would switch my role. I'm very comfortable.
Hypothetically, if you want to, if you have to.
I don't know, man, but I really like, to be very honest with you, I really like to talk with customers. So SDRs, I love the SDR jobs, the sales development representatives, because they are the first guy to talk with customers. And I really like to talk with customers to understand. So probably if I would change role, I would be a SDR just to try to identify an opportunity. I really love that, talk with customers.
Great. So what is one surprising lesson that you have learned in your entrepreneur journey?
Well, there's so many, man, but one is that always there is a challenge, and you have to be always ready to change. So change is something that is not something that you have to not expect, because it's gonna happen. So if you look back in 10 years ago, what we used to sell, the products we used to sell, the ManageEngine products they used to sell, and what products they sell most now is completely different. So the change in IT is a process. And the more surprising part, it's not surprise anymore, but everything that you know now will be nothing in a few months already in technology. You have to keep studying always. So that's something people think, oh, technology is just studying and it's done. No, you have to keep studying every other day. That's something I always tell for my team.
Great. So what is the weirdest advice that you have heard in your entrepreneur journey? Someone gave you an advice saying that, hey, don't do this or do this, which sounded very weird to you.
Well, I cannot say that I have a weird advice myself. I have bad advice, I can say. Bad advice, I would say some people in the past, when I used to sell a American-based company, say, hey, don't change this vendor for a Indian-based company, because we are doing something crazy. You have a lot of, more than 2 or 3 years doing this job, and you have a big marketing, you are selling a lot. Why change this vendor right now and change everything? And that was something that I didn't believe, that I didn't want to do. And I just, was advice that I didn't follow, and I think it was a good thing.
Great. So it's a great conversation overall, and I just wanted to close it with 3 advices that you would give for an aspiring entrepreneur.
Sure. I think first thing, you have to believe, and you have to like what you want, right? What you do every day is very important. So to like your job, to feel comfortable in what you're doing is very important. Another thing is believe in the people. Don't try to concentrate things in yourself. You have to have good people around you. So give them power, give them ideas, that give them the listen to them, because you don't know, nobody knows everything. So the more people that you listen to, more you're gonna understand, and then the less chance you have to lose and to risk everything. And another thing is never give up, because challenges will be there every other day. You have to kill a lion a day, we used to say in Brazil. So that's a very important thing. It's never easy, but just get up that you're gonna surpass the things. Never give up.
Also, one last question before we wind up. So when you have a very hard day, how would you come out of it?
Well, sometimes I really get
like you start feeling like giving it up.
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, what I do is think that you'll be better days tomorrow. It's just a hard day. It's just try to say, hey, today was a hard day, but better days will come. Tomorrow we're gonna be better. And never thinking about the problem, but about the solution. So when you have bad days, if you think about the problem, you're just gonna maximize that. If you think how to boost, to take the solution of that problem, you're probably gonna have a better day next day and gonna find a solution. So
do you keep thinking about it, or do you try to switch off from it and then come with a fresh perspective?
I try to switch off into the fresh perspective. I think
how do you do that?
Well, workout or family, or sometimes happy hour. In Brazil, we do a lot of happy hour. We find a way to just give up on that and start fresh the other day. So
makes sense. Sure. Thank you so much. Lovely talking to you, Dyogo.
Oh, appreciate it.
Thank you. So do you want to say subscribe to the channel in Portuguese? Would you mind?
For sure. Se inscreva no canal, clique aqui que com certeza você tem bastante interesse, né, no canal aqui do Zoho Creator.
Thank you so much.